It was my first time 6 years ago at Ocean Reef, and I was just, a newer manager, completely blown away. I'm on my second time back, being the managing director, coordinating the farewell for Beth and making sure that we honored her legacy. The club landscape and club leadership is becoming more and more challenging as our members evolve, our boards evolve, and our teams evolve. Really what we tried to look at is, inspiration but tangible takeaways.
But we can't, in 2025, run any business without data. Data-driven decision-making, fact-based insight are the only way to operate in this environment. Residential community clubs in Florida now have, many of them have more than $100 million worth of physical assets. That's a big business. That's a big operation. We need data to make the right decisions. And the only way we can manage the churn of volunteer leaders is to use facts. We're trying to be a catalyst for greater systematic participation in data gathering in the industry.
There are a lot of moving parts, particularly on the federal level, but also the state level regarding immigration and tax. And we need to be keeping an eye on what's happening so we can be in compliance as it evolves. There are going to be tax deductions, and that it's only for a short period of time. So that's going to create some complications for employees and employers.
So essentially, the foundation is that generational differences are not about our ages, but about our unique experiences that shaped us in our formative years. Gen Xers grew up in a little bit of a freelance, latchkey kid time. Millennials grew up in a time where social media gave them the opportunity to collaborate and network with others. And Gen Z, of course, growing up in a post-pandemic era where there's a lot of polarization. When you encounter someone who approaches life a little bit differently, to lean in with curiosity, to learn about those experiences and leverage them to create a better understanding and connection with each other.
A lot of people are afraid of change, and a lot of people are scared of tradition. But tradition and change, or better, legacy and innovation, are not enemies of each other. They're actually co-authors of relevance. You pave a path to progress for your organization, for your club, and frankly, for the future.
I think that having these open kind of networking events, in a more casual atmosphere really helps to foster those relationships where you might not walk up to somebody in the classroom setting or even at a social break, whereas you might bump into somebody that you've not met in line at the bar or at the buffet, and you start a conversation and you've made that connection that you might not have made otherwise.
Employee engagement is significantly lower in 2025 than it was during the pandemic. Flow state helps people to be 400% more productive, 250% increase in learning speed, and increases creativity 500%. When you can define how you uniquely get into flow, you can activate it on demand. It's not a mindset, it is a mind state.
In this panel, they've all gone through construction projects, and what they shared with us were ways to tell the story to create member involvement, how they communicated with their members to create buy-in before the project, and the necessity of keeping that story going throughout the project. What came through most was the importance of authenticity, transparency, and over-communication.
The Disney model is really about people. In any business, organization, club for that matter, we focus on service, but it's really about the experience that our members have. And when we can put those two experiences together, that's when we really create the magic.
Hurricane preparedness is everything. In this panel, we heard from 3 great leaders. In Florida, it's not if, it's when. We had so many wonderful takeaways. We heard from 2 GMs that talked about the challenges they face of being on the water. keeping everyone informed, having a plan, and not just having a plan, but rehearsing the plan before and after to make sure everybody is in the know.